It will be interesting to see the impact on my blood sugar of a commonly eaten combination, that is yam and beans porridge. So I've got some beans porridge here. I've also got some yam. Normally they are cooked together, but I wanted to put them separately so that you can see the quantity of yam I've used. Sometimes when it's combined, you don't really know how much yam. So I've got this piece of yam, got this piece, can you see it? And I've got and a half. So I've got a half, 1.5 slices of yam. So this amount of yam, which is about 150 grams boiled yam, contains 170 calories, 41 grams of carbs, so quite significant amount of carbs. It has about 6 grams of fiber, 2.3 grams of protein. Whereas this amount of beans is about 127 calories, it contains 9 grams of fiber. So really good source of fiber from the beans. It also has about 9 grams of protein, so good protein source. So we'll see what the combination does when I eat that. I expect there to be a spike. I don't think the fiber in the beans or the fiber in the yam will be enough to stop a blood sugar spike. The fiber in the yam is 6 grams, while the fiber in the beans is 9 grams. So between two of them, I hope they'll be able to keep my blood sugar low, but we'll eat that and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to mix the beans and the yam. Bon appetit! So it's been some time since I ate the beans porridge and the boiled yam. We'll have a look at the chart to see what that did to my blood sugar. So disappointingly, there was a massive blood sugar rise of 7.1 millimoles per liter or 127.8 milligrams per deciliter. So that was quite a rise, disappointingly. I suspect it's due to the quantity of yam. For those of you who eat yam, do you think the yam was a lot? That was 1.5 slices of yam. How much yam would you take when you have your yam with your beans porridge? So I think if you're having this sort of meals, you do have to cut down on the yam, which is what I suspect led to this spike. It does have quite significant amounts of carbohydrates, about more than 40 grams of carbohydrates in the yam alone. So even though it contains some fiber, and the beans being a legume contains fiber as well, it was not enough to stop a massive blood sugar spike. So if you're diabetic or you're managing your weight, it would be useful to cut down on the quantity of yam you're having. Beans, on the other hand, is quite good for your heart and good for your weight. But again, quantity is important. So for lunch today, I've got a popular dish, black-eyed beans with plantain. So there's fried plantain and black-eyed beans. A lot of you have asked me to do this. So I'll be eating that and we'll see what that does to my blood sugar. We'll come back and we'll have a look. So beans is full of fiber and also protein, but it does have carbs. And the plantain is also carbohydrates. So I might go for a walk once I finish eating this because I suspect it will really spike my blood sugar. But we'll be back and we'll see what has happened on the blood sugar monitor. Bon appetit! So it's been some time since I ate the beans porridge with the plantain. Let's have a look at the chart to see what that has done to my blood sugar. So as you can see from the chart, there was a blood sugar rise of 2.3 millimoles per liter or 41.4 milligrams per deciliter. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And that's because beans is a legume. Legumes are power-packed foods. They're full of proteins, they're full of fiber, and they contain complex carbohydrates. So overall, really good food for your blood sugar and for your heart too. Other types of legumes include things like black beans, kidney beans, your chickpeas, your akidi, if you're from Africa. Those sorts of foods are legumes and they're really good for your health. So I hope this encourages you to eat more legumes like beans. Some people complain that beans makes them bloated. So I encourage you to soak it overnight. When you boil the beans, once it's boiled, pour away that water, wash it again, and then start cooking again with fresh water. You will find that the beans wouldn't bloat you up. For breakfast today, I'm going to have a savory breakfast made up of some vegetables. I've got mixed veg, I've got 2 boiled eggs, and I've got some fish. So there will be lots of protein from the eggs and from the fish, and huge amounts of fiber from the mixed veg. So we'll have that and we'll see what that does for my blood sugar. Bon appetit. So it's been a while since I had the meal of fish, of boiled egg, and mixed vegetables. Let's have a look at the chart to see what that did to my blood sugar. As expected, there was hardly any blood sugar rise. There was a mild rise of 0.3 millimoles per liter, equivalent to 5.4 milligrams per deciliter. So there was hardly any rise. Isn't that amazing? So I hope that gives you some idea of what to eat if you're struggling to manage your diabetes or your weight. If you find some vegetables that you enjoy, throw in some eggs, throw in some fish, and you have a meal that is great for your heart, great for your weight, and fills you up. Today I've got a popular soup known as fish pepper soup. It's spicy, it's light, it's made mainly from fresh fish, lots of spices like garlic, like onions. Some people add ginger, some people add otazi, and all sorts of spices. A delicious dish. It's mainly from the fish. The fish is full of protein. So a dish like this contains about 30 grams of protein. So heavy on the protein and 250 calories. And so I'm expecting this to be okay for my blood sugar, but we'll have that now and we'll see how it turns out. So I've got the fish, as you can see. I've got about 3 portions of fish and then the sauce. So we'll eat that and we'll see what that does for the blood sugar. Bon appetit! So it's been a few hours since I had the fish pepper soup. It was delicious and I'm interested to see what that did for my blood sugar. So as you can see from the chart, there was no appreciable rise in blood sugar. And in fact, my blood sugar appeared to have gone down rather than up. And that's what we expect because proteins don't usually raise the blood sugar. So if you're diabetic and looking for something nice to eat, fish pepper soup is just perfect for you. It's filling, it doesn't spike your blood sugar, and it's nice to eat. A reminder that we focus a lot on blood sugar because high blood sugar leads to high insulin, which leads to insulin resistance and then causes a host of several illnesses. Therefore, we emphasize a lot on the need to eat foods that keep your blood sugar steady, even if you're not diabetic. Did this surprise you? Were you surprised to see this chart? Let me know in the comment section. Continue to subscribe and follow as we explore our commonly eaten foods. Bye for now.